when you work with the best of the best, um, how have they raised the ceiling for you for themselves?
Well, with the best, there's a lot of unlocking of physical capacity. Like they have a lot more skill and physical capacity than they have utilized. They get to be benefactors and victims all at the same time of um, of of success. So because they were successful, they use these same patterns over and over again. And because they were successful, why would you change? And then what happens is there's other physical capacities that are and mental capacities and the ability to combine skills that really pop. So when you start working with those players and the thing is trying to combine skills together in different, more unique ways to expand their understanding of what they're actually capable of, and then where could that be applied. So a lot of my work in that regard is to kind of reveal, like, hey, when you come out of that crossover, you could go into like a back cut off your outside foot. Like you could cross over, and as you cross over, you could get to that inside edge of that foot. You could plant it and then start going backwards at that speed. And so now and then what would that do? Well, that would open up, that would open up space because the person that was defending you is anticipating that you're going to be in acceleration coming towards them. And now you've done a 90-degree turn or thereabouts, or a 90-degree movement. And now they've backed off. So now what? Well, that's all of a sudden it's time and space. And now I'm going backwards on that foot because I went off that foot. Now, why don't we just open up and get into a pivot? And now you could pivot, there. You could put that foot down and pivot again. You could cross over coming out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these skills, some of the skills that they already have, and I'm putting them in combinations for competitive advantage, and then asking questions therein to say, like, what if you did it this way, and what situations would this work in? And then, of course, I've already done the work, so I know what situations they need to be in, and I know where they are with their game. So it makes it a little easier for me to suggest some of these things, and then they start playing with them. Then they're like, where it really gets good is when they start messing around with it, and they're like, pull something out of the hat where they're like, well, yeah, but I could also do this, and then they grab a skill that I wasn't even thinking of. Now you're really talking. That's more my role. Or we get into it and then we realize, you know what, like there's a skill missing here that you just don't do well. You're not as comfortable. When you go backwards into that foot, your weight tends to come forward, and now you're too far on your toes and it gets too restricting. So we need to change that posture. So when you land, we got to land in a different way that holds your posture better. So now you can smoothly move to get to the next movement. So sometimes it's that too.